I'm going to cover a couple of things about our college, and I'm going to start, hold on one second. I'm going to talk to some points here. We're accredited by the New England Association of Schools and Colleges, which means, yes, that the transfers, the credits do transfer. We have two locations. One is in Waterbury, one is in Danbury. Danbury is much smaller. It's in downtown Danbury. It's right off of the bus line. A lot of students that go there take a lot of their preliminary classes and then end up coming over to the Waterbury campus. We have over 100 degrees and certificate programs. We have flexible class times, but that really, classes are available on Saturdays and Sundays, but it's going to depend on what your degree is, what you're studying, and how soon do you get to register. It's first come, first serve, and the earlier you register, your options of having that flexible time schedule that you want is much more likely. So we're going to talk about, do your credits transfer? And the answer is yes. You do have to work with your counselors and understand what it is your objective is. Are you going to school for liberal arts? Where is it that you want to go later? And some students don't know that until the end of their last semester, and that's okay. Some students start this journey knowing that I'm going to do 2 years here or 1 year, whatever it may be, and then they want to go to UConn. UConn, there's a guaranteed admissions program. It's called GAP. You could start with us, you get your associates, and in order to get into UConn, you have to have a B or better, 3.0, I believe. It's a 3.0 to get into UConn, and we transfer you over, whether you want to go to a branch or you want to live on campus. We also have Central, Eastern, Southern, and Western. Those, a lot of students actually go to Southern and Western predominantly from Naugatuck Valley. I'm going to get into the application and how you apply. I'm going to get into financial aid, but I'm going to tell you right now, application deadline, there is no deadline. Financial aid, there is no deadline. Now, the application, I'm going to give you a story in a little bit. When I say there's no deadline, there isn't, but we need to be prepared. If Naugatuck Valley is not your first choice, it's your second, third, it doesn't matter. You should still apply, because sometimes all the stars don't meet to get to that perfect college that you want to get to. And I'll tell you a story about that in a little bit. Financial aid, there is no deadline. However, it's highly recommended that we get going on these things to be prepared and you know what you want to do. Tuition and fees, here we go, $4,516. That is for 2 semesters, 1 year. If you look back to UConn, it was $30,000 a year. And I would like to say, I think it's University of New Haven. It's also Quinnipiac. Those schools to live on campus are $68,000 a year, $68,000. So sure, you could apply for financial aid and you can get $10,000 towards it. You could get any number towards it. But when you have a comparison of $4,516, I just feel that it's really smart economically to choose a community college where the tuition is $4,516. All right, we have liberal arts and we have behavioral sciences. Visual and performing arts, if you see down there, we have a beautiful, beautiful stage that seats around 800 people. And we also have a black box theater, which is this gorgeous room. It's got, I think it seats around 90 people. It's all black and a beautiful chandelier is hanging from the center. So we have a performing arts degree. And a lot of students choose this path, and then they could go on and go to, I know one student that went on to NYU. And I would like to add that NYU is over 70,000 now. Someone told me that it's at 75, but I'm going to tell you it's over 70,000. That's New York University. We have criminal justice. We have drug and alcohol, early childhood education, very popular. We also have a daycare on site. That's over in Kinney Hall, and you could get your internship there. And students that have children, try to get your application in early so that your child could go there, and it's at a lower cost. Back to the visual and performing arts. Once a semester, students entirely themselves put on a play. It is like off-Broadway. It is fantastic. It sells out so quickly. Like a business sense of perhaps owning your own shop. So their automotive technology is also an associate's degree that you could take. We have fire technology, hospitality, very big. Again, if you could please watch that video that we have of our campus. Hospitality we have culinary, and we also have, now this hospitality, you can get a certificate in culinary or hospitality, or go for an associate's and then move on to your junior, senior year at Johnson & Wales, perhaps. You have a certified nurse's aide, manufacturing. So and welding. As you could see, we have welding. Again, you could get a certificate or you can get an associate's degree. And when you take a class, let's say you get a certificate in phlebotomy, but you want to switch gears into nursing. The classes that you took in phlebotomy or certified nursing goes towards the degree that you may choose. Okay, so how do I apply for an application with Naugatuck Valley? You're going to go online and you're going to go to nv.edu/apply. I have this written down myself, the first Tuesday of every month, 5 to 6:30. We have online assistance. You just check in, you go onto that site. And for instance, I'm there every Tuesday, the first of every month, and I can help you fill out the application. My colleague, Mohammed, he does the last Thursday of every month, and it's from 5 to 6:30. Again, go on our website, and this follows under the umbrella of new students information. Apply for financial aid. Our financial aid department has workshops that you go into new students and you check out financial aid, you look at the times for the workshops, and you and your parents get on and you could get the financial aid application done right there. And we have our own code for our school. Each school has its own code for financial aid. We help you fill out the form and we give you our code. I don't know it offhand. And there's a contact that I gave, Akia. Her name is Shannon Taunton. She also helps with educational counseling for financial aid and questions of how to fill out a form. ACT, SAT score report. I did say to you, we don't need your SATs, but we will need your high school ending GPA.
There's more questions coming in. What steps can I take to succeed in college? I think this is important. So
it's a great question. I think what really, I spoke a lot about, and I really do mean this, putting yourself out of your comfort zone. I met a guy, his name was Christian, and I met him, 2 years ago had an open house on a Saturday. So I want to say that like 800 people came through all day. And he was over in our Prism Lounge, which is over by Students Affairs. And he spoke so beautifully in front of every single group that came in front of him. And he told this story that he was petrified to go to school. He was really nervous. He was beyond. He was a first time within his family going to college. He didn't know what to expect. And really his words were really impactful to me. And I think to anybody that listened to him, he was the one that took classes, came in, left, came back. He would go back and forth. He said it was a game changer for him when he hung out over by the student activities. And he happened to come across the president, because we have student government as well. thank you for, I'm happy that this is coming up. We have student government as well, and the president was needing help with papers, and I just caught him. He was sitting out there, said, "Can you give me a hand?" And he helped her walk to wherever it was that they had to go. And he came back and she said, "You know, you really need to join student government." She quickly convinced him, and he ended up going on student government for the remainder of his career. He was the one that I told you it took him 3.5 years to graduate, and that was his choice. So for one semester, he observed and just watched. And the rest of his time, 3 years after that, he got involved. And he said this day with the open house, he said, "I never, ever, ever would have spoken in front of a group of people before, but I stopped running, to go home after school. I stuck around, and this is my home." And he felt you need to embrace it, like this is a campus that you do reside on. Also, I think a lot of students are shocked with time management. How do you do that? And the truth is, you don't procrastinate. If I was to say to you, tomorrow I want an essay, let's just say, tomorrow I want an essay from each of you. I want a 5-page essay at 7 a.m. And you have to give it to me at 7 a.m. Otherwise, you're going to fail. It'll be your first failure at school. So what would you do? The question is, all right, I'm going to get off right now and I'm going to go watch TV. Are you going to save that for 8 o'clock? Procrastinate? Do it at 11 o'clock? Procrastinate again? Be so stressed with everything that you need to do, when in the end, this is just a test. The question to you is, get off from here right now, make the time, get it done. Do not procrastinate. It really is, it enhances your stress level so much. Go to one of the future information sessions or call me. I have zero problem working one-on-one. It would be my pleasure. Call my number, which just switched, 203-575-8054. I would love to meet with your parents, with your child, and really get into any other questions. Have this repeated. My pleasure. I really would like that.